Hi, I'm Gavin Jurgens-Fury, senior writer here at NXL Entertainment. And with me, of course, is...
Colin McComb, creative lead for Torment, Tides of Numenera. And we're here today to answer a few questions for you submitted through Facebook.
And Twitter.
And our imaginations. We're very proud of those. I am proud to answer no. We have changed nothing. The only thing that we have changed for the console release is the UI. But everything else has remained exactly the same. We've cut no quests, we've cut no content, we've cut no items, we've cut no characters. Everything remains the same.
Would you say that both versions are looking nifty?
I think nifty or possibly keen.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Okay. And the answer to that is, on the player side, you're going to be able to ask pretty much everything you want to be able to ask. We want to avoid gating things based on your current dominant tide. Now, what that does mean, however, is that characters in the world will react differently to you based on what you've done. This is a reputation system. And so content from the NPCs will vary based on who you are, but you're never going to be stopped from doing something just because of who you are.
Correct. We didn't want to create any feedback loops, for instance, forcing somebody who has been a blue tide to continue with blue tide answers. And likewise, we didn't want to say, you can't change your playstyle once you have chosen a particular dominant tide.
The answer, of course, is yes. You can try things. If you can't try to hack a computer, for example, but there also are some things that you will not see unless you are perceptive enough or smart enough.
Right. The passive skills are skills that will unlock additional information for you. The active skills, anybody can try, and they're free to fail.
And it's interesting if you fail.
That's right. Sometimes it's more interesting to fail.
It can be tragic.
It can be tragic.
And hilarious.
But interesting.
Oh, interesting.
So there are a number of different ways to approach this, just as there are a number of different ways to approach magic in this setting. So, for instance, is a great store of knowledge a prerequisite to being a deity? If so, then the Changing God is undeniably at least a demigod. He has knowledge and powers and information and the ability to find this in the patterns that emerge from the world. Abilities that other people don't have. And if that is your prerequisite for godhood, then absolutely he's a god. If it's a matter of acquiring power, again, he is more powerful than many people in the world. He has the secrets of the ancients to command for himself. I think that makes him pretty clearly a deity compared to the people in the world. I mean, there's a good reason he's got a cult for him. If you're talking about the more ineffable nature of deity and godhood in this world, though, the Changing God does not draw power from his worshippers. He does not exist on a different plane of existence. He does not have avatars. And more importantly, perhaps, if you put him up against a resident of a prior world, he would just be another ordinary dude. Relatively speaking, he's absolutely a god. But absolutely speaking, absolutely not. How the setting influenced gameplay. For instance, ciphers, the one-shot magic items, essentially. Those can change the course of combat. Those are specifically created by the team at Monty Cook Games as essentially one-shot magic powers for us. And we had just a ball creating a huge pile of these barely stable fragments of ancient civilizations. And we wanted them to provide effects you couldn't possibly get from anything else. So the one-shot nature of them was incredibly liberating and freeing, and also really fun to create.
Right. Another example that I have to bring up is the huge amount of backer NPCs that we have to deal with. Right. Basically, what happens is that we've taken backer NPCs and put them into the main flow of the narrative, so that these aren't people that you just visit on the side. These are people that you will encounter through the course of the story, and you'll help choose their fates. The thing was that these backer NPCs were set up so that we didn't come up with a lot of the story on their own, but we had to look at what the backer wanted and tell the story in our own voice, but with their voice and their considerations as well. And it was an incredible challenge, and it was incredible fun.
when we first started development of the game, we identified essentially 3 buckets of gameplay styles that you were doing in this game. There is conversation, there is combat, and there is exploration. And we built the world and our level design and the art and all of that stuff around the idea that we would have these gameplay choices.